Okay, turn it off. That's all we can afford.
What's going on, you guys? Steve here, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite games of all time, Virtual On Oratorio Tangram. I play this game religiously on original hardware. It's a very old game, it's a very cool game, and I feel like there's not enough talk about this in the West, so I'm hoping to raise awareness so more people know about this game, and maybe we can get a new collection or a remaster. One can dream anyways. I just got a new capture card, so I'm going to show off some of my personal gameplay. This is an arcade run that I just did. I'm super proud of it because I had some close calls, got through the whole game in one shot. It's a very tough game, and I got through the secret boss. So the gameplay in this video is me. This is a 1v1 arena fighting game made by Sega in 1998. It's also called Oratan or Vlut. Oratorio means grand musical piece, and Tangram is a Chinese puzzle. I played this game for years, and I still don't understand it. This is actually the second game in the franchise. VO is one of the many Sega franchises that we lost to the sands of time. It was very innovative both mechanically and visually. It's commonly written off as a Gundam clone with dated graphics and bad controls, but there's way more to it. Ironically, the characters were designed by Hajime Katoki, the man behind some of the most iconic Gundam suits. As far as the story, it's pretty shallow, but that's okay. Personally, I'm not expecting Citizen Kane when I play 90s arcade games. Basically, there's two warring factions to justify player 1 and 2. The game takes place 20 years after the events of the original game on the Sega Saturn. An AI named Tangram becomes self-aware and decides humans are too dangerous. Basically the Age of Ultron plot, but this came out first. The story is straightforward, but it's never acknowledged in the actual game. You have to Google it or read the manual to know this information. There's a secret ending that vaguely references the story, but it leaves you with more questions than it answers. The gameplay loop is pretty straightforward. Attack, dodge, guard, and punish until you win. There's no mechanics or bugs to abuse like corner infinites or roll cancels. Maps have different forms of cover and elevations. They don't really make too much of an impact as far as the outcome of matches, but the effort was there. The mechanics in this game are where it gets deep. The key is weaponizing your movement, reading your opponents, and punishing. It quickly turns into this cat and mouse poking game. You can do jump cancels, dash cancels, melee combos, double jumps, super cancels, jump melees, and more. VO is unique because it's a twin-stick game. This dropped years before the dual analog control scheme became standard. I think that's a big reason why Sega designed this game with tank controls, because there wasn't a uniform control scheme at that point outside of basic 2D games with D-pads. The late 90s were kind of the Wild West when it came to control schemes, because new controllers were being made, 3D games were becoming more prominent, the gaming landscape was just changing in general. Many reviewers complain about this game on controller, but it's not a controller game, and honestly, I think that's a very unfair criticism. I think the game should have been optimized for controller, but it's just not a controller game to begin with, so you're just playing it wrong. Virtual On is virtually unplayable on the Dreamcast controller. Basic movement and specials require the use of the face buttons, analog stick, and D-pad at the same time. On the twin stick, it's very simple and fluid. Unfortunately, that was a pricey Japan exclusive. To me, that's like selling Guitar Hero without the guitar controller. It's integral to the experience. This game introduced turbo weapons. In the first game, you were limited to 3 weapons and a melee, your left trigger, right trigger, and both triggers together for a heavy weapon. Through various button combinations, you can pull off more attacks and supers, so this game plays a little more like a fighting game. Each character has different super inputs and activation speeds. It makes the roster quirky and unique, but it creates major balance issues. I understand every game isn't going to have one-to-one balancing, but in this game, it's pretty busted. Pretty busted. Some are way better than others. There's 4 versions of this game running at 60 FPS with notable changes. 5.2 is the original arcade version for the Sega Model 3. It features slower pacing, no turbo weapons or jump attacks, stronger melees, and weak explosives. Raiden is considered a top tier in this version because he has higher health, more damage, and faster diagonal movement. It also features a version of the public port stage with an invisible floor. Not gonna lie, it's kinda disorienting, but it is interesting. 5.2 is unlockable in console ports after beating the game with every character. 5.4 is the balancing revision for the Sega Model 3. 5.45 is the Dreamcast version, the first console port. This version introduced faster pacing, balancing changes, turbo weapons, and extra content. The Dreamcast port patched the public port map and added a secret playable boss, but I'll save that for another video. It also has alternate versions of characters. The US and Japanese versions are very different. The US port was published by Activision and features less content. The Japanese version has color edit, online multiplayer, and VMU support with the Sega Naomi version. 5.66 is the version for the Sega Naomi, Xbox 360, and PS4. This version has 3 new characters, alternate versions of songs, faster movement, balancing changes, plus improved graphics and audio. 5.66 ports don't have split screen though. Technically, 5.66 is playable on the Dreamcast, even though it didn't officially release. A Japanese magazine featured a demo of 5.66. The demo only allowed you to edit the colors of characters, including the new exclusives that aren't in the Dreamcast version. It was actually reverse engineered by fans to run the unfinished training mode in the demo. The Dreamcast port, which I have, is unrelenting as far as the difficulty. Honestly, the difficulty settings are pretty useless. This isn't the game you pick when your nephew comes over for Christmas. This game isn't newcomer friendly, and the Dreamcast controller doesn't help. For most people, that's going to be the primary way they play this game because the twin stick is pretty expensive and not very accessible. This is one of those games where you're going to struggle if you don't get the mechanics. You can't just spam shots and speed run the game. You have to fight tough AI and poor controls, unfortunately. The Dreamcast port is hands down the hardest version of this game. The AI is constantly dodging and spamming, but up close you can find punishable openings for most characters. The game has 8 levels of difficulty, but there's no noticeable difference between easy and hard. The console ports of 5.66 are way easier. On low difficulty, the AI doesn't move or fight back. As far as the meta, at release, Fei Yen was considered a top tier. Old blog posts and articles confirm this. In recent years, pro players have experimented with all kinds of characters. A major criticism is balancing. That's one of my main criticisms too. From movesets, damage output, attack startups, V-armor, and health. None of it's universal or even the same for any 2 characters. The game has been revised several times, but some matchups are still busted. When it comes to accessibility, Virtual On is practically non-existent in the West. The game was active in the 2010s thanks to the 360 port. The franchise and tournament scene went radio silent in America after the release of 8th gen consoles. VO arcade machines are very hard to find in the US too. The few existing cabinets are owned by collectors. Most VO cabs were likely stripped for parts over the years because OEM parts are niche and pretty hard to come by. Some people are making 3D printed parts to preserve existing machines. In Japan, the game is alive and well. A PS4 port released exclusively in Japan, and the game is very easy to find in their arcades. Japanese content creators play VO daily, and the game is featured at EVO Japan and the Tanita Cup every single year. Ultimately, this game is flawed, but it's very fun. It's unfortunate Sega let this franchise fall by the wayside because I think it's very interesting and the gameplay is very compelling. I'm into quirky games with different mechanics, stuff that just doesn't follow the same template as the AAA stuff we have today. Whether it's a new game like Splitgate Arena Reloaded or a retro like this, I just love innovative mechanics. I don't care how big the player base is, I don't care if it's a dead game, a single player game, online, whatever. As long as the gameplay is interesting, I like it. This is one of those really cool games that unfortunately just died and we lost to time. Even though I want a remake or a remaster, a collection of some sort, I don't see it happening, unfortunately. This franchise has just been dormant for too long. Most US gamers don't even know about it, and the people who do know about it don't really like the control scheme. Twin stick controllers are very expensive. It's a hard sell, but a unique experience that gaming is missing.